What up, crew? It's Matthew here. Today we're going to be talking about Magnet Warriors. Magnet Warriors are actually one of the oldest archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. First introduced in the Battle City arc of the anime, they were a core part of Yugi's deck during that arc. It was 3 vanilla monsters that were introduced, as well as Valkyrian the Magnet Warrior. We're not playing any of those cards because, you know, they're completely outdated, but the deck has gotten some new support in Burst Protocol and is going to get even more support in Muertos coming out very, very soon here. The deck has been gaining some traction. It topped a regional very recently. You love to see it. I think the deck has potential to be well positioned going into this meta, just because people don't really expect the deck, right? And people don't really know what all the cards do. I wasn't familiar with what the cards did up until some of the hype started coming around on the internet. But I've been checking out the deck and it's a lot of fun. So let's just go over the cards real quickly. Some of the new cards is Conduction Warrior, Linear Magna Plus Minus. Oh my gosh. I think I'm just going to call it Linear throughout this video. It's a circular and it doesn't activate. And basically you send any 2 level 4 or lower Magnet Warriors to the grave just to special summon it, and it's not an activated effect. So it's a double circular, foolishes, and it just goes onto the field, which is pretty insane. It is a 1-card combo that way. So yeah, we definitely need to play 3 of this. Delusion is going to be one of your key inboard pieces. It's going to be a monster pop on your opponent's turn, and it also can extend by summoning 2 Magnet Warrior monsters as a quick effect. We're going to be playing Duotarion because it can search any magnet spell. Most of the time it's going to be Magnet Bonding, which is a 1-card combo, so Duotarion is also a 1-card combo. Sigma is an important piece. We need to foolish it off of Linear. Sigma Plus specifically. We're going to foolish it off of Linear as well as our Beta to special summon our Beta to get our combo going. Sigma Minus is one of our starters, but also an important combo piece as an extender. It's going to fusion summon, and the way that it fusion summons is just by revealing itself in the hand, which is pretty crazy, so it's kind of hard to interrupt. We're playing 1 Epsilon. This is just an important combo piece. And then the 1 card that isn't out yet, but will be coming out in Maze of Muertos, is going to be Omega Plus. It is a Book of Moon, and it can special summon itself by destroying another rock monster in our hand or face-up field. And then Beta, this is the expensive card in the deck right now, but it got confirmed to be getting a reprint. It's either going to be reprinted as a super rare or as a rare in Maze of Muertos, so the card should be really cheap going forward. And as a result, I believe this whole deck is actually going to be pretty cheap, so it could be a good budget option if you're looking to just build a new deck or get into the game. But Beta is also a 1-card combo. It's essentially the only normal summon that we want to use in the deck. Pretty cool that this deck doesn't really rely on normal summoning very much. But on summon, it's gonna Rhoda any level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior. And then during the opponent's turn, we can tribute it if it's on the field to special summon 1 level 4 Magnet Warrior monster from our deck. That is not going to come up. This isn't usually going to be an inboard piece, but it's arguably the most important card in the main deck. We are playing 1 Adamantipator Researcher. This card is going to be very searchable. It's the tuner in our deck that we're going to use to go into our 1 Synchro monster, which I'll go over shortly. 1 Magnet Induction. It's an emergency teleport, essentially, to special summon a level 4 or lower Magnet Warrior monster from our deck. And it also just kind of randomly on the turn gives destruction protection, so that could be pretty good going second. And the Magnet Bonding is a new quick play spell. It's got 3 effects, and you can activate each of them once per turn. kind of broken. So it's going to act as a combo and as a polymerization. It has the effect to add also a level 8 or lower magnet warrior monster from deck to hand, but we'll almost never use that. So it's usually the Rhoda effect and then the poly effect. And yeah, this deck has very little bricks, I'd say. So we have lots of room for non-engine as well. So we got 3 Fua, 3 Perulia, 3 Ash, 3 Bell, 3 Imperm, 1 Nib because we can search it off of our Gallant Granite. Typically with Gallant Granite, we're going to be searching for our Adamantipator Researcher. But if we already have it in hand, then we can search Nib as an additional interruption on our opponent's turn, which is pretty fun. And then 1 Called By, and then 1 Cross Out, specifically for the chummies. Next up, we'll go into the extra deck. We got 1 Cross Sheep, 1 IP, this will almost always be on our end board, 1 SP to go into off of IP, 1 Gorgon of Zilliphathonia. Sometimes we'll go into this over SP. This card is actually really good in this deck. Yeah, if you don't know what this card does, it's basically a floodgate for 3 monster zones on your opponent's turn, and it's pretty hard to out because it gains attack of all the monsters that it points to, and it can't be destroyed by battle or monster effects while it doesn't point to any monsters. So kind of an annoying card to deal with. 1 Goddess, I'm just kind of using this as a generic way for to out a Liger Dancer for the Lunalite matchup. I'm still testing it, so we'll see if that comes up. 1 Dugaris, 1 Exciton Knight, just in case we need to clear a board fast going second. 1 Gallant Granite to search any of our rock monsters, which, I mean, all of our combo pieces are rock monsters. So yeah, this is just going to be a great searcher for any card in our deck. But like I said earlier, we're mostly going to be searching for the Researcher. And 1 Naturia Beast because all of our monsters are Earth monsters. This card is broken. I've got 1 replay that's actually really funny, but it can basically negate any amount of spell cards. It's not once per turn, it's just insane. This is the new fusion monster, Conduction Warrior Plasma Magnum. It's got kind of a small floodgate where all face-up monsters on the field become Earth, which is, it may not seem like that big of a deal, but against certain matchups, it kind of is. It's also just like kind of a generic combo piece to add a magnet, normal, or quick play spell when it's fusion summoned. So it'll either be induction, but 99% of the time it should be bonding if we don't have bonding already in rotation. So we should play 2 of them for the grind game. And then we got this TCG exclusive rock fusion monster. This card is absolutely broken. It's called Flux Oxenfeld. I'll just call it Flux for now. Basically, it can bounce any Earth monster you control and any card that your opponent controls back to hand. And also, if it's fusion summoned, you can special summon 1 rock monster from your hand or graveyard. This is a common, I believe, in Burst Protocol. I'm really glad that we have this because it just makes the decks and board a little bit more scary. And then we're playing Super Poly in the side deck, so we're going to play some targets for Garura, Moo Dragon, and Secretarian Dragon in case we go against Dracotel. Fun fact, if you have Conduction Warrior on the fields, Super Poly just becomes so much easier to use on decks that it's not normally good against, just because all monsters will become Earth, so you can easily go into a Moo Dragon, even though against certain matchups where you couldn't originally. In side deck, we're playing 1 Solemn, 3 Super Poly as mentioned, 3 Droplet, 1 Prosperity, and Talents for extra consistency going first, 2 Droll, 2 Mourner, and 2 more Nib. Alright, let's go ahead and get into some replays here. Okay, for our first matchup here, we're going to be going against Regenesis Dogmatica. Just to kind of address the elephant of the room, we're doing today's testing and deck profile on Dueling Nexus instead of Dueling Book. I've just been, I'm kind of new to Dueling Nexus, so I kind of just wanted to check it out, and it's sometimes nice to learn a deck using a program that has automated that kind of automates the effects for you and like lets you know before you take it to the TCG. Yeah, anyway, we are going first and let's see what happens. So we'll start with bonding and we're gonna add or attempt to add linear. We'll go Ash, or they're gonna go Ash, we'll go cross out. They'll chain Fua. Unfortunate, should have held the cross out for that, but it's fine. So we'll search linear, then use linear to dump 2. We'll almost always dump the Sigma plus and the Beta, because Sigma plus will trigger to special summon Beta from the grave. Beta will search this Sigma minus. We've got Epsilon in hand, so we'll go ahead and use it to Foolish the Omega plus. We're going to go into Gallant Granite. They get a draw. We'll use it to search Researcher. We'll special summon Researcher, activate its effect to reveal 5. And there's nothing we can special summon, so they all go back down. Whatever. We'll use the Omega to pop our linear. Linear comes back to hand after it's popped, which is nice. We'll go into Nat Beast, and then we will fuse into Conduction Warrior. And then we will attempt to pass, but they're actually going to droll us before we attempt to pass, which is like, okay, fine. I mean, we were under Fua, so we might as well, before we pass, just keep going if we can. So we'll use Induction here. Summon from the deck, which will dump that. And then we will link into Masquerena, and then special summon the Telusion. So this is essentially full combo. So our interruptions here are a quick effect Book of Moon when an earth monster on the field activates its effect, which will be any monster because all monsters on the field are going to become earth due to Conduction Warrior Platinum Magnum. We have an infinite amount of spell negates, essentially. God, this card is just ridiculous. Naturia Beast. Yeah, it just does so much for this deck's end board. IP, that can go into just about anything. And Telusion, which can, when our opponent activates a card or effect, we can destroy one of their monsters. And then a quick effect, we can special summon our Sigma minus and our Sigma plus, which could give us more materials for IP or just some follow-up. And then we got Droplet, and then we got Magnet Bonding to fuse on our opponent's turn. All right, let's go. So they're going to go Sage. We're going to chain Magnet Bonding. They're going to attempt to negate it, but we'll chain Droplet, send it to the grave to negate the Sage. Shuffle back, go into Flux. Again, this is a bounce, and it's any card, not just monsters, which is super nice. I can't believe that this is just a TCG exclusive. I love this card, seriously. They'll go Nadir. We will negate it with Naturia, and then we will Book of Moon their Sage, just because. They'll go into the Warrior. We'll chain Masquerena. They're going to attempt to bounce Masquerena with the Warrior. And we'll just chain the Telusion to destroy the Sage and just get it off the field. So they'll bounce our Magna. They'll go Nadir Servant again. We'll negate it again because Naturia Beast is not once returned for some reason. They'll bring out the Overlord. I actually am not too familiar with this card. So on summon, it can target cards on our field and graveyard up to the number of banished monsters. So they can banish 2 cards from our field or graveyard. Okay. They're going to go Telusion. We'll go Flux, target Telusion, chain Telusion to bring out our Sigma plus and minus. So it doesn't have to bounce, Flux doesn't have to bounce both cards. It just says to return them to the hand. So it only has to bounce 1 for its effect to actually resolve. So we can chain the Telusion so it doesn't get bounced to our hand to get Sigma plus and Sigma minus on the field for follow-up, which is super nice. They'll set Ash. We'll go into Gallant Granite again, and they scoop. All right, next up we got a best of 3 matchup against Purebranded Despia. Our hand is pretty insane. We've got starters and extenders. They've got a pretty good hand for 2, but no interruptions or hand traps. So let's see how this goes. So yeah, we'll foolish 2 to bring out linear. Sigma plus will special summon beta. Beta will search the sigma minus. Minus will use its effect to fuse, go into conduction, search, so we'll search induction off conduction because we have deuterion to search the bonding. We'll almost always use the induction to special summon the epsilon. And epsilon will almost always dump the omega plus if we don't already have either of these cards in our hand. And because when epsilon dumps, if we want to special summon a name, it can't be the name that we dumped because epsilon steals the name. And epsilon says that you can special summon one Magnet Warrior or Magnum Warrior monster from your graveyard with a different name than the cards you control. And it's important to get another level 4 on the field to go into Gallant Granite. Yeah, but now we have Omega Plus in rotation. We can dump the Telusion with the Sigma minus. Go into Granite. We're going to search Nib because we already have Researcher in hand. So we just have extra interruption on our opponent's turn. Nib is actually kind of nice going first in this deck, just because this deck can actually get almost all of your resources back on turn 3, which is super nice. Special Summon Researcher, we will excavate the top 5 to see if we hit a rock monster to special summon, and we do not. I'm glad that was in our opening hand, oh my gosh. We'll go into Nat Beast. We'll use Omega. We'll get Telusion on the field, go into IP, set the bonding. So I don't think our opponent really understands what Nat Beast does. Maybe they didn't read the card because, I mean, just watch this. So they'll activate Lost, we'll negate it. They'll activate Opening, we'll negate it. And they'll activate High Spirits, and we'll negate it. Yeah, they're just cooked, man. Nat Beast is ridiculous. They'll summon Quim. We'll go Bonding. Shuffle back to go into Flux. They'll send Retribution for some reason. That was definitely not correct. But we will book with Magnet Omega. And then we'll get a search for Sigma minus off of the beta. We'll go IP, SP to pop one of their back row or banish. And then during the end phase, we'll use Flux to get rid of their other back row. Okay, this guy should have just super polyed like the Nat Beast and the like IP away originally. I don't know. Maybe this guy's newish to Yu-Gi-Oh, but anyway. We'll go into another conduction. Search another bonding, go bonding to bring Flux back out, and recycle the Omega, use Flux to special, and then Beta to search the Omega. So we just get so much follow-up, right? And yeah, I just feel like it's hard to lose, or to not like just go for lethal on turn 3 in this deck. Which we do. Okay, and now for this game, we're up against Kewl, and they're also playing the new support that's supposed to come out, and I want to say it's coming out in Blazing Dominion. I don't really remember, but anyway, this is game 3. We each won 1. Yeah, let's see if that we can stop them. Kewl, like I thought it was like on release it was like okay, but I think the new support is actually kind of broken. Anyway, here we go. They are going first. They'll summon Q, we'll Ash it, they chain Cool Tune Synchro, go into Track Maker, chains, triggers, chains. We'll attempt to stop their Track Maker to cut them off from searching. They look at our hands, they get another Cool Tune Synchro. They'll banish the nib. Wait, this card is twice per turn. It's just so ridiculous. That's pretty broken. Anyway, they add the trap. They'll go overtake, we'll try to bell it. They go into Zaylin and attempt to pass. So this isn't looking too good for us because I already know what Zaylin does. So instead of leading with beta, I'll try to lead with Sigma minus and see how that goes. So they'll chain the trap, to which they could respond with Zaylin and negate the Sigma minus. So I'll just chain Perulia to stop them from doing that. They banish our Delusion, unfortunately. They get Q back. We go into Conduction. Search Bonding. Try to go Bonding. Think I'm gonna have this, and they have Solemn. So there's just no way that we can win from here, because we are out of resources completely. We die roll for this match, and they made us go first. So at first I thought they were on Tenpai, but it turns out they're actually on Cyber Dragon. This isn't like an exciting match, but I just kind of wanted to show a funny interaction that this deck can do. And this guy's username, I mean, like, they deserve to lose, right? Anyway. So yeah, I don't really need to go over this combo too much. Well, I guess this is the normal summon combo, so yeah. Beta, search, Sigma minus, which will fuse into Conduction, which will search Induction since we already have Bonding, Epsilon, dump Omega, bring out Sigma minus, dump Delusion, go into Granite, add Researcher, Researcher Special, reveal 5. Our reveals have just been not very good. Oh my gosh, we're only revealing chummies and hand traps, it seems like. We'll go Bonding to, we'll use the effect to add Linear, go into Nat, Linear dump, Special Summon to get another body. That way we can go, or sorry, we'll use Omega first to destroy Linear, which will come back to our hand after it's destroyed. Broken. Go into IP, bring back Delusion, pass. They kaiju our Nat Beast, smart on them. So this is just like ridiculous. So they're gonna attempt to use Machine Duplication to tribute the Disa Blaster, I guess, to get 2 Cyber Dragon monsters on the field. We're gonna chain IP Masquerena, to which we will chain Delusion. Watch this. To bring back the Sigma minus and Sigma plus, and then Masquerena will resolve. And we will link off their monster into Underworld Goddess. And so this duplication just doesn't resolve. We could special summon Beta to get more follow-up after Sigma minus goes to grave. And then they scoop. Alright, we are back. So what are my thoughts about this deck? I'm just gonna say, this deck is a lot of fun. I mean, this is the most fun I've had testing out a deck in a really long time. The new cards are just ridiculous. It's just, the deck is hyper consistent. You have 12 one-card starters and then a magnitude of 2-card combo starters. Just like Foolishing for cost via Conduction and Epsilon is just broken. You have tons of room for non-engine. We have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 non-engine slots, so that helps a lot with going second. I will say that, like most decks in this format that aren't Dracotail, that aren't Radiant Typhoon. The engine itself can struggle a bit going second, but yeah, 18 non-engine slots should help us out with that. The deck is actually like pretty grindy. There are lots of ways to get all your rock monsters back. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell, there's not a way to get Nat Beast back. But for the most part, you don't really need to get it back, even if you get into a grindy state. The combos are like pretty easy to understand. Like they're pretty linear, but they also have a lot of flexibility. Just because you get so much value off of your searches and your foolishing for cost. Another kind of con, I guess, about this deck, in a replay that I didn't show you, I went full combo, and then my opponent was main decking Dark Ruler no more, and that just shut me off from doing anything. The inboard, while it's strong, it's not layered at all. Like, it's not layered at all. Like, all your interactions are just monsters. So that can be a con, especially with so many board breakers going around in this format right now. But otherwise, it's a really strong deck. I think this deck will kind of just be a sleeper. Like, it'll continue to top and people aren't going to respect it. But yeah, anyway, super fun deck. It should be pretty budget once Maze of Muertos comes out and beta, the price of beta goes down. Yeah, if you haven't looked at this deck at all, I highly recommend giving it a shot. It may seem confusing at first, but it really isn't, and it's just a lot of fun. Anyway, let me know what you think of the deck if you care. Otherwise, I'll see y'all next time. Thanks.